Welcome back to part 8 of which of the Schmincke colors do you need to buy and which can you probably mix yourself. Today we are looking at the Forest palette. I had to actually invest in all of these colors. I think Mom only had one of them. They weren't a set that either of us were super interested in. I've swatched them all out on the sheet that I've been using to plan out this video series, and I have to say I'm still not sure. I don't know that I'd consider Forest Brown to be a brown. Looks pretty green, but we're gonna label the sheet and then we're gonna get into swatching them out and just see how we feel about them. I always pre-wet all of my pans, so everything's been pre-wet. Now we get to actually swatch everything out. So olive is pretty, but I don't know. There are other greens in the sets that I feel have sort of more super granulation to them. I feel like some of the I don't know if Forest was part of the very early sets or not, but I feel like some of the very early sets like Galaxy, Volcano, and Tundra really had that super granulation effect, and then the rest they've sort of tried, but it hasn't always been there. This is green. I did not like green. I was glad that I got green from somebody who was destashing it from their collection, and I did not pay full price for it, which is uncommon with me in paints. I'm usually, even if I don't like the color, I'm fine with having paid full price for it. This is one of those colors that I was not. It is so opaque and so, it's trying to granulate, but as soon as you wash it out enough where you can actually see the brown, you've lost the brown. We've got Forest Brown, which I do like, but it doesn't look brown to me at all. Oops. Way too much water there. Add some more pigment in. I would describe it as like an olivey green sort of. But it doesn't scream brown to me. Whereas Forest Gray does scream brown. Especially once it sort of gets worked out, it feels much more brown. It's quite orange on top. And then we have Forest Blue. I feel like this set was quite green heavy. I wished that they had like a true brown granulation color in it. I sort of wish, I think it's desert brown is in this palette. Later on we'll talk about which colors I'd switch in a later video. So, for Forest Olive, we need PBR 7. So we're going to start with Cyprus. Start removing all of these pans so we no longer need them. We're going to start with Cyprus. Mostly because that's what I've been starting for all of them. And even though now we've got the raw Umber from Daniel Smith as an option, I'd rather start with Cyprus. Just keep it the same. And then we've got Viridian. It's too green. Let's add in some more brown. Let's go in with yellow. That's too much yellow. Yep, there we go. Stick that there. I think as that dries, it'll be pretty similar. Forest brown, we have PG19, which is cobalt green pale, which is this one that's got all the binders sitting on top because it likes to separate. And we have PBR 33. So this is mahogany brown that we're adding in. So my cobalt pigments, my cobalt particles are too large, and so they don't want to mix. And at all. So with more cobalt. Just sort of do the heavy version. Okay. I think that might be as close as I can get it because washed out my cobalt's the wrong particle size, and so you're seeing them totally separated. They're not mixed together at all. My cobalt's a lot heavier because it's a larger pigment size, and so you're getting those big clumps. So PBR 7. Seven. 43. 26. A color I like, not the color we're aiming for. Let's add in some more 26. And some more yellow. Still not quite bright enough. So we're going to add in some more of the brown just before I add in more other stuff, because by now we've used up quite a lot of our brown. We're quite heavy on the yellow actually, so we need that warmth. And then we're going to add in our 26. Oh, this is going to be way too brown. Oh yeah. So let's add some more of our green. It's got the warmth we want though. Oh, there we go. Maybe no. Green. Aha, there we go. So it's actually pretty heavy on the green. I would say that's significantly more green than I thought I would need. Pine tends to, which is a PG, which is a cobalt green dark, tends to change the color quite a lot because it's so opaque. But you never know. We have, oh, my notes for this are long. Give me a second. I had forgotten to pull PG 50 as well. I think by the time I was pulling colors for this, or making the notes for this palette, I was quite tired because it starts with our second pigments instead of our first pigment. So we start with Cobalt Teal, which is not how I would think that starts, but sure. Cyprus and black. Mix. That's very green. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go with the raw umber. I think my other umber is too yellow. That seems better. Seems less green. So this uses the raw umber from Daniel Smith, or a pigment similar to it. Let's start with Stormy Seas. So I think it's probably a different blue. And Aquarius back. Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's it. That was easy. So let's do dots. We have yellow ochre, Viridian, Cobalt green pale, which has huge binder separation issues, but has had those issues direct from the tube. They've been issues since the very first moment I poured it, and is a known issue of this paint. Let's do PG26 next. Yeah, so you can see the color difference. Like this one is a lot more yellow. This one's sort of more neutral. But I like the granulation of this one more. So that's where I've been starting with the super granulating colors. what I tend to use in my DIY mixes as well. Alright, so we have PY43, PG18, PG19. PB36. PG29, PG50, PBK, no, PBR7, PBR7, PBR33, PBK11. All right. Overall, I think forest gray was the hardest to mix for, but once I figured out that it was the wrong PBR7, it was easier. I've done a whole PBR7 video, and if I'm smart, I'll remember to link it. If not, it should be easily searchable on my page, because I don't always remember to link them. Surprisingly, I liked mixing for Forest Olive. It was fun. And Forest Blue was fun because I got it in one. I am enjoying the ones that I get in one, because it's just exciting to get in a single try. So I hope you've enjoyed part 8. There are 2 more palettes left to go, and then I think there's probably 2 wrapping up the entire series videos, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'd love to know what you think below.